Good morning, everybody, on this fine Saturday morning. Today, we're going to be building and testing a trading system focusing on the WaveTrend indicator. I've gotten a lot of requests about WaveTrend, and we'll do a super trend one as well in a future video. But I like testing new strategy ideas to find opportunities in the market, whether that's a new indicator, a new exit type, a new instrument, whatever it may be, to potentially find that new alpha as a trading system. I think is always worthy, and I brought you guys along for the ride. So grab your popcorn, let's get started. The WaveTrend indicator looks like this. It's an oscillator, basically showing you price movement with the best calculations to try and not lag the price, but it's always lagged. But how I operate is let's test it. Let's test it as algo traders here and see if we can find some profitable systems. So I use NinjaTrader to run, trade, and test my trading systems. And that's the product you'll need. Now, WaveTrend does not come by default with NinjaTrader. You actually have to download it separately. I'll put the links in the description below, but here it is right here. This includes the source code for that indicator, so you can start interacting with it. You will need this, so this is 100% required. Download this and install it. When you download it, you should get a zip that looks like this. And all you really want is this WaveTrend2.cs. So if you open the zip and you go to indicators folder, you just want this WaveTrend v2.cs, the C# file. Then you take that C# file and you go to Documents, NinjaTrader 8, Bin, Custom, Indicators, and plop it in there. Then once you've done that, in your editor, you go to Indicators here. And you should see it here, and make sure you compile. So to compile, just hit F5 on your keyboard, or you can hit this compile button here. And this is assuming you have NinjaTrader installed and you have the editor open, which you can open it from new NinjaScript editor on the left here. Okay. So with that all done, then you can see the indicator on the chart. Well, let's start testing some trading systems from a quantitative perspective, which I've already done. So I've tested the WaveTrend indicator in my tool that I use, StratGen, which is a tool to test multiple signals very fast instead of coding them from scratch. So you can see here on the right here, I have all these signals. And what I did was I just selected the WaveTrend signals. So, cross below WaveTrend 10, cross below WaveTrend 90, cross above, all that sort of stuff. So anytime it crosses above, it's going to enter a trade and then give me a backtest result. So we have all the WaveTrend signals selected, and then I put a stop loss and exit after N bars in profit, which I haven't really shared before. Basically, it will sell after N number of bars have passed and you're in profit. So if it's 100 and you've been in a trade for 100 bars, it will just sell assuming you're up. If you're up, your unrealized is above 0. So I did that. I tested a short side here and then a long side here. And you can see at the top, I got all these options for back tests. Some of them didn't make money. Some of them made money. And I just tested it in 1 year, 2021. So that was like my in sample year, 2021 here on the left. I found that 2-minute ES seemed to work the best, right? That was the best iteration. ES is S&P 500 E-mini futures, and then 2-minute bars. Sometimes you want to build, different bar sizes. I know a lot of people like to use 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, that sort of thing. But sometimes you want to use some wacky ones, 2 minute, 7 minute, that sort of thing. Get you some more diversification. So I also included 3 ticks of slippage as well in my back tests, which is very conservative. Obviously you guys know I trade for a living. S&P 500 futures, if you're trading one contract, you'll probably only get 1 tick of slippage. So 3 ticks is definitely a little harsh, but I'd rather be more harsh in my back testing to maybe outperform in reality, right? So it's better to be harsher in your back testing to ensure you get good trading systems. So then what I did was I got the list of all those strategies, and then I found 2 that I tested out of samples. So you see now in these 2 tabs, they actually go to 2024, right? Where the other tabs were only 2021. So the 2021 was the in-sample, finding the strategy, ideas, and optimization. And then I tested them with 2024. I wanted to see if they made more money. So this is the long side. I'll maximize my screen here. So basically, development stopped at the end of 2021. So probably right about here on this green circle here. I'll make my camera smaller. So development stopped right about there. So yeah, it made some money in that year, and it's continued to go up and to the right. Not super smooth. It's had, some drawdowns, which you should expect, but it's made more money. And on the short side as well, which is obviously much harder to develop because going short on stock indices is tough, right? Most stock indices go up over time. And you can see the short side, the development stopped once again right here, and it's continued to make more money, but it's gone through tougher periods to get there, right? So, it made new equity peaks on June 9th, 2022, but was in a drawdown for almost a year until about April. Now, this is only the short side. So if you take the long side, that drawdown will be smoother. So yeah, let's see what signals it selected. So once again, it selected when I say it, I mean StratGen. If you want to get access to StratGen to test strategies faster, much more efficiently, you can see the links in the description below. But it shows 80 ticks as the stop loss. So S&P per tick is $12.50. So if you do 1250 times 80, that's a $1,000 per E-mini stop loss. You could also trade this with micros. And it chose 100 bars to exit. So after 100 bars have passed and you're in profit, it's going to exit a trade. And then it shows 2-minute bars as well. Now the long side, that was the short side. The long side also chose those. And let's talk about the entries. So the entry for the long side, it chose the WaveTrend has to be greater than 80 for it to enter. And for the short side, it chose WaveTrend less than 80, right? So the complete opposite, which is really nice. You're getting a lot of symmetry between the entries and exits. So these are trend following systems. These are going to be what it feels like shorting at the bottom of the day and going long at the top of the day. And, mathematically from our back test, that seems to be the best, right? So now let's combine them into one strategy. I've been showing you the short side and long side in separate tabs, but let's actually combine the long and short into one, and we're going to use StratGen to do that. So we have the long side here. I've called the strategy WaveTrender here, and I'm going to check the export checkbox and then hit run, and it's going to generate the source code for the long side. I didn't have to code any of this, right? This was just, I selected the signals, ran the optimizations, tested out of sample, and then now it's going to generate the code for me. So there's the long side. Let's do the short side now. I'm going to check the export box, hit run. Hope you guys find value in this. Let me know in the comments below. I want to make sure any video you guys watch from me, you're actually learning something. And if this is dumb and wasting your time, then let me know, because I got to work on that. Okay, perfect. We got a code error in my video. I'm not going to edit this out. We're going to work through it together. So if I go down to WaveTrender, let's see where you can find the file. I have a lot of WaveTrend strategies that I developed. There we go. Long and short. So we're getting it's missing a closing parentheses on line 146. Yeah, I've been working on some new code. Yeah, I just got to add that. And we'll have to do it for the short side too. So StratGen generated all this code automatically for me. If I were to write all this code, it would take me probably an hour, if not more. So instead of that hour coding it, I spent that hour testing strategies to find robust ones. Okay. Ampersand sign cannot be applied, string and bool. I'm on 146. So if trading hours is equal to, oh. Got to close this part out. Yeah, so this code here, I'm going to talk about either in my newsletter or in a separate video. With day trading strategies on Ninja, I find sometimes, I'll talk about it in a separate video. I don't want to get off tangent, but it could help with your day trading strategies. Okay, so it's generated the code for both. So we got WaveTrend long code on the left here and then short. And I'm just going to combine it into one. So to really do that, it's super easy. All we have to do is combine the entry signals. So if I expand entry signals here, zoom in for you guys. See this region entry signals. This is all we need, right? So if WaveTrend is less than -80, enter short. It's got some other code here. So I'm going to copy that. I'll go to the long side, expand the entry signals region, paste it under that. So we have the long side, which is this highlighted piece of code, and the short side, which is this highlighted piece of code. All right. And then I'll change the name of the strategy here. I'll just get rid of the word long because now it's a long short strategy. So it's just going to be called WaveTrender for now. I'll also change the class for that. So I'll get rid of the word long in the class name. And then lastly, we're going to rename the file. So it's just WaveTrender. Now to rename the file in NinjaTrader, you can't have the tab opened. So I'm going to close this tab and then find it on the right here. There it is. Right click, rename. I just get rid of the word long. Yes. That'll rename the file. And now if I go back to my strategy analyzer, which is the backtesting tool in NinjaTrader, and I go to my strategy, I should see a strategy called WaveTrender, which will include the long and short signals. There it is, WaveTrender. Now make sure you recall the settings. Because I already have my tab open, it remembered the settings of the 2-minute. But a good practice is to save your template. So template at the bottom right, save, and then hit save as default. And that will save all these settings. So that way, when you run it in sim, which I'm going to do next, or run it live, all that's saved. So now if I run this strategy, we should see long and short trades in one analysis. And there we go. There's our analysis. Our equity curve should be slightly smoother because it includes both the long and short signals. So it is all right. 2023, it had a rough time, hitting equity peaks on December 1st. And it took, I guess about 5-6 months to get out of that drawdown. So it had a tough time throughout the summer and late 2023. But that's decent. All right, there we got long and short signals for 3 ticks of slippage, all generated by StratGen, which once again you can get in the links in the description below. Made it really easy to test. So what I like about this strategy is, first off, the net profit is more than 2 times greater than the max drawdown. So 24K net profit over those 5 years and a 10K max drawdown. So that's pretty good. It's a 2.4 return to drawdown over those years. I don't really care about much else. The average trade is a good metric too, so it makes $144 per average trade, which is great. Other than that, it looks pretty solid. So the next step would be to run this in a sim account, see if it makes money over the next 30 days. To do that, you go to the strategies menu here in Ninja. I'll move my camera. Strategies menu, where my mouse is here. Right click, new strategy. And this is where I run all my strategies in a sim or demo environment to see if they make money before running them with real capital. It's an important test to do. All right, scroll down to W. There is another trick here I'll show you guys. If you click on a strategy and say, like, we want to go to WaveTrend, so W, right? So if I click on here and hit W on my keyboard, it will start going to all strategies that start with W. Sometimes I guess it doesn't work. All right, fail. It works sometimes. It's like a .NET shortcut, but that was a terrible example, so never mind. WaveTrender, there it is. All right, so now we know, hey, it selected NQ as the instrument. It should have been ES. I don't know if this is a bug in Ninja, but if I select default, yeah, see, it didn't load that instrument. I can't for the life of me figure that out. Maybe it's because I'm not using the latest version of Ninja. But sometimes you have templates and it doesn't load the instrument. I still got to figure that out. So I know it was ES because from my testing, but be wary of that, because if you have a wrong instrument, your backtest goes out the window, right? Because you don't know how it did with NQ futures or YM futures or any other instrument. I know it was 2 minutes. Yeah, stop loss 180, 100. Days to load, this is a good parameter. By default, Ninja does 5, so it loads 5 days prior before running live. Basically does a back test for the last 5 days, loads up all the indicator and price data, and then you go live. I find it's not enough data. Sometimes you'll get strategies make trades because maybe an EMA or RSI hasn't had enough bars to load yet. So I like to do 30 days to load a month worth of data. The trading hours was US equities RTH. This is also important. You got to know which trading hours you back tested on. So US equities RTH is the stock market cash session, which is 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern. But you might have strategies that trade 24/7 or ETH session. But I know that was tested on that. Okay, so you hit OK. That will plop in the strategy. I just saw it right here, and then you would enable it. And I like to run it for 30 days. So basically, if by August 27th, I check the P&L of the strategy and it's up, it's above 0, then I would start trading it live just to see if it does well in the current market environment. Some strategies you build and they just kind of crash and burn in the current market because maybe there was a regime shift recently that's caused this strategy to be incomplete or just not doing well in the current market. So definitely very important to run this in a sim. You could also run it live with really low capital. Say you could run this with micros if you have a larger account size and take a smaller risk and then maybe put it up to E-minis after the 30 days. That's another option as well. I'm just not fond of that. I'd rather not risk any dollars. So yeah, there's our WaveTrend strategy. I'll share this strategy in the description below. And that's how we built our WaveTrend strategy. Oh, also, yeah, sorry. Let me go back to the trades. You guys didn't not see the trades, so by default, StratGen does not draw indicators on the chart. You can actually see the wave trend is here, but it's not drawn. Just to save, it makes backtesting faster when you don't draw graphics on the chart. But we can draw it. We just go to the indicators here, and I go down to WaveTrend V2, WA. There it is. Apply it. WaveTrend is a pretty heavy indicator. You can see it's still calculating. So when you're optimizing and backtesting, you don't want to be drawing on the chart. It's going to slow down your backtest quite a bit. But there we have our trade. So for the short side, it had to be less than -80. So we can see on this trade here, bottom left where my mouse is, it definitely went below -80 on that short trade. And this is a trend following strategy. So this is going to do very well if the market goes down or straight up in one day. We know that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you do want to capitalize on that move because it can be big outperformance. But there's also going to be days like this, where it reverses and you give up, some gains. But the math tells us that over the last 5 years, this has made money and done well. So you got to listen to that and follow that. So I'm surprised that the win rate is above 50%. I don't use percent profitable at all on all my metrics, but usually trend following strategies are below that 50% range. So to be above 55% or to be at 55% is a little bit of a shock to me. Yeah, that's the video, guys. I hope you learned something about building WaveTrend strategies and how I build systems robustly. If you want to learn more about that, you can see the links in the description below. My newsletter, you get a bunch of free code, bunch of free content as well. If you don't want to join the course or you're not ready to join the course, that's okay too. And then, of course, I have the Coding Great Trading Bots course, which has access to StratGen, which is the tool you saw today in the course, as well as live strategy building sessions and course material, video content on how to build good trading systems. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys found value. Let me know in the comments below if you learned something about WaveTrend, and we'll see you next week. Peace, guys.